Hey, we are back. We are back. We are back. You thought we were gone, but no. Oh no. Oh no, we're back. Welcome to the F1 Show podcast. I'm your host for the most, Wayne. This is the man in the pits with the tits, Brendan. Hello. How are you, sir? It's great to be back. It's great to be back.
It is. It's good to be doing something like this again. It's good.
It really is. It really is. And it's great that we're doing something. Let's have a sip of wine to celebrate.
I'm on the Hobgoblin tonight in a Star Pramen glass. I don't know if that upsets anyone, but you know.
What kind of glass? Sorry, what was that?
I'm drinking out of a non-brand matching glass. Apparently, it's a thing nowadays. I've got a Star Pramen glass.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking Hobgoblin beer. Right, so
and because it doesn't say Hobgoblin on your glass, that's a
exactly, or it's not Star Pramen in it, you know. So I'm just anybody with OCD, please look away.
Yeah, it is become a thing in the pubs, isn't it? It's like when you get back in my day, you just lucky to get it in a glass.
Lucky you didn't get it poured over you, yeah.
Well, those were the days.
Hey.
I probably deserved it. So let's talk about a bit of F1. Should we do that?
Let's talk about it,
Shall we talk about F1? First of all, we've got to celebrate a little bit. I'll put the celebration music on. Well, I'll put it on afterwards. We can pretend. There we go. We're celebrating. You can never hear the music. Spoiler alert, people, if you've not watched any of it, we've reached our target of, I said the target of 60 subscribers for the first year of our podcast, and we got 62 subscribers. So
in total across the platforms or on just one platform?
I have no idea across the podcast platform. I don't understand how it works, but on YouTube, 62 subscribers. And that's good. That's what I wanted. That's what we wanted. And if you're one of those subscribers, pop a comment in. Say hello to us. Pop
Let
a
us
comment.
know how you're getting on. What would
For
you
the
like
love
more
of God,
like
someone.
less of?
What do you? Yeah. What do you want more of? What do you want less of?
Less
Don't
of
say
Wayne,
like
more of Brendan. Let's go.
yeah. If it's that, I'm afraid you're going to be out of luck. It's the wrong podcast. You know, go listen to those boring ones. You know what are the other boring ones? WTF one or whatever.
WTF one.
I think our pun's better. I think our pun is better. Our brand is better. And so let's delve right in. The news will be back, but it's been so busy. You have no idea how long it takes to think up of such bad jokes and then make the PowerPoints to do it, people. But I will promise at the end of the year, maybe I'll just do a best of. We'll do a best of at the end of the year.
While you're knocking stuff like that up, you can be doing images so I can use them on Instagram and across the platforms to promote this stuff. Yes,
definitely. I will be one day doing that in my spare time. And so, Japan. So, should we go to the race?
Early? Were you up? Did you get up? Well, were you in your own bed? Where are you Where are you on your own?
I couldn't possibly
divulge that information.
You, sir. I did watch it. Okay, so let's go to good race, bad race.
Steering wheel. Somebody tell him to give it to me. Come on, move.
There it is. Good race, bad race. The animation there.
You can't find the button.
I'll find the button.
What are we talking about here?
So what did you think of the race? You're going to get the results up. We can go through it.
Yeah. It was... I'm disappointed that we didn't get a full race on that circuit. It looked like it could have been I've never watched a full race at Suzuka, as far as I know. Not that I can remember, but I was looking forward to...
You've only been following this about 2 years, haven't you? I don't know.
More than that, but it was... The race that they had was good. The rain made it exciting, but I would have loved to have seen a full length race there.
Yeah, I think the visibility thing. It's funny, isn't it? Because I've seen over the years races run. How much wine have I drunk already? In those kind of conditions, and they've gone full on, and it's just. But I can understand it. There was it had elements of that 1976. We'll wait till the rain stops, and then the light thing comes in, and it's like, well, we're running out of daylight now, and the cost of producing that around the world means this has got to run, So
this is something that I was going to bring up in Pit Talk, but the condition, the quality of the wet tires is something that was mentioned quite a lot.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that later. Let's do the good race, bad race.
You get the people up and we'll go through them.
Right. So first across the line was Max. I think he had a crappy start off the line, but he caught it by first corner, the first start that we had.
That
was phenomenal. I was so excited at that point. I was like, this is going to be epic if it's like this. He was what, a car and a half's length behind, and then on the straight into the first corner, he caught it up and passed him on the corner.
Yeah.
Do you think that was because of Red Bull's handling, or just Max having bigger balls?
It's about trusting your car, isn't it? If you trust your car, then you know what it's capable of.
I think Max is a better position from that point of view.
Dare I go into the office territory? The synergy of him and that car is just phenomenal. Yeah. And he says it. He says the car was amazing, and they're at one. It's that moment you want as a driver. You're completely at one with your machine. You know exactly what it can do. You know exactly its limits. And I think he's just on it.
And you trust it. It's not going to break down like the Ferrari has been doing this season,
Yeah. And I just think he is just in his element now. And I'm pleased that he's won it legitimately this year. Regardless of, it's not saying I think they both deserved it last year. It's that moment, that James Hunt moment where he said in 76, I won it, but we both deserve to win it. And I think last year they both deserved to win it, and I think as time goes by, he'll think this is his first proper championship season. Last season, they both were amazing and he deserved to win it, but so did Lewis. And it was only a technical.
You think you'll ever be magnanimous enough to say that, Max?
I think it's
while he's still competing. It may be something he says when he retires, but I don't think he'll say it while he's
not
competing.
Retires. I think it will be maybe when Lewis retires. I think there'll be that moment where he'll just say, but you're right, it is genuinely when they retire. Like the Prost and Senna thing, they were best mates right at the end. Yeah. They were, and Senna would call Prost up to talk about stuff. That's why I like this film, Senna, but it does portray Prost in this light that I'm not happy with. No, we're never happy with that. They were very close at the end. They were very close. But and I think that's only when one of them walks away. So when Hamilton walks away, and it's the same, I think, with Rosberg's got a lot of respect for Hamilton after the event. The stress of it all is all gone. The tension between them.
Do you think that Hamilton will have that respect for Rosberg once he walks away, or is he still too?
No, I think he's got it now. I don't know.
You think?
I think absolutely. I've got a lot of respect for Hamilton now. I mean, there was a time where I didn't like him. He was being a bit too.
He's like a different person this year.
He's
a different stuff to talk about.
He's a different person. He, like we said, he's more sort of centered as a person, and I've got so much respect for him. And interestingly, we talked about this before on the podcast, wearing that helmet in Saudi Arabia, that was for me a genuine thing, a genuine brave thing to do, to do that in that country, as opposed to just virtue signaling. He actually went, well, no, I'm going to wear this because this is what I believe in, and I've got respect for that. And so I think once the dust settles, what's interesting about the end of the race, I know we've got to go through our drivers, but what's interesting about the end of the race, again, this whole Has he won the championship? Has he not won the championship?
Yeah.
And I do think, and we talked about this before, and I've got a copy of the FIA rules on my desktop here. It's a case of making rule books that are so complicated that in the end you get to a point where you don't understand the rules you've made yourself, or not that the constant tinkering.
They contradict each other.
Or like you could have a simple rule and then there's a caveat, and some of these caveats contradict other caveats, so that then at the end of a race you're going through 7 pages of rules to work out what really is happening,
or 7 pages of caveats to figure out what the actual rule means.
It's like the American Constitution or the amendments, is that, and then you suddenly realize one amendment overrules this amendment, and you're all over the place because you've tinkered with it so much. It's so complex.
Speaking as someone that works in a club environment, it is important to always come back to those rules and rewrite them as clear as you can. Not add on to them, but rewrite them entirely to reflect the current plans and the current laws and wishes of the committee or whoever it is.
It's a bit like the law, isn't it? So when like a case comes up and it's won, that becomes part of the collective of presidents in the law. So like it sets a precedent in the law. So when a law happens, and like a case happens.
Stop! I can't let you say it again. A president is the man in charge of America. A precedent is when something has happened before.
See, this is what you pay for on this podcast, people. Complete idiocy.
You're the teacher.
Say it again, because now I don't know how to say it.
President. No.
President. Yeah, that's what I meant. Right. So when something okay, don't highlight my idiocy. So what I'm saying is something, a court case will happen and someone will win it, and that can be cited in other court cases. So and I think that's kind of what's going on. But to get to the end of the race and not quite be sure how many points are being given.
Well, let's wind back a bit. To get to the end of the race and not know it was the end of the race, right? Poor Vettel was still racing. He was racing for another half lap.
Really?
You sure? Yeah. He didn't know because it was on a timer.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's 2 hours plus 1 lap, right? So they didn't know when that first 1 lap was gone. When that first 1 lap started. Was it the first lap after the race leader had passed after 2 hours? Or was it after the back marker had passed after 2 hours? Or, so nobody knew when it was the last lap. The checker flag just appeared, and then they couldn't see it because of the spray. They couldn't see the side of the track. So if you listen to the comms at the end of the race, Sebastian Vettel was still like, why is he pushing behind me? It was Alonso was behind him. They were still racing. They kept racing.
Two great champs racing. Great champs. Let's go for our runners and riders.
So Perez finished 3rd, obviously, but was upgraded to 2nd because of Charles's faux pas at the last corner, or second to last corner. So I think Perez had a good race. That was a good battle with Leclerc, and he did well with that. Leclerc, I think, was unlucky. He was under pressure. I think he's nervous in that car. I think that first corner showed that. He backed off a long way once Max was in front of him, and then again under braking going into that corner. That's a rookie mistake. He's been. That was how many laps he'd done of that circuit. It was drying off. He should know the braking should be getting easier.
Yeah.
So I think I've got a feeling he bottled it there.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, wants to bring the car home, didn't he? I suppose, especially in that weather. I mean,
well, then you don't underbrake.
I don't know. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's go to the next driver. I don't know. You know what? The problem is as well. It's been so long since I saw the race, and
it's been a week and a half. Did you not watch the highlights tonight?
I did watch the highlights tonight.
All right.
But for the life of me, it's been so long. So Hamilton.
There was a lot of things that happened.
A lot of things happened. What happened to Hamilton? Yeah. Just tell me the final standings.
Right. So Perez first. Verstappen first. Perez second. Leclerc third. Ocon fourth. Hamilton fifth. Vettel 6, Alonso 7, Russell 8, Latifi 9, Norris 10, Ricardo 11.
How did Latifi get there?
Stroll
Norris 10.
12,
Where did Ricardo end up? 11th.
11th, yeah. Stroll 12, Tsunoda 14, Bottas 15, Zhou 16, Schumacher 17, Gasly 18, Sainz and Albon NF, DNF. So let's Ocon.
Not many DNFs there, really, is there?
No, I thought there'd be more DNFs given the conditions.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of spins, but they kept them under control. Zhou had a spin. Latifi, well, that was. Did you see him in free practice? He went down the wrong road. He took the wrong turn.
I know. That is, I mean, I can imagine that happening somewhere like in France with all those bloody lines everywhere. You wouldn't know where you were going. But I did think, come on, dude. That's embarrassing. That is embarrassing as a driver.
But then when you listen to when you watch the F1 highlights, then it shows you the options of all the other videos we've got. We've got the best of the team radio. Yeah. And when he went down there, when he went down that,
did he own it? Did he own
service road? No, he blamed the car. He said, "Oh, the car, something weird. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm all right.
Something weird on the car made me turn down the wrong road completely, dude. It's the only thing you've got.
Something wrong in the car,
the
mate.
Accelerator and the steering. The car didn't steer you down that road. I mean, we've got a lot of gadgets on this, but geez, own it. Just own it. I don't let into it. I don't let into it in the interview. I'd have gone, what? That is the way, isn't it? I don't know, Latifi. I mean, he's got nothing.
Next year when I'm on the touring car,
he'll do better next year, Latifi. Oh, hang on. You know.
Yeah, because he'll be back to karting or somewhere. Then Hamilton, he was 5th. Where did he start? He started 6th, so he made up a place. Yeah. I think everyone made up a place because Sainz dropped out, really.
What happened to Sainz? Did he just drop it?
He came out of Perez's spray to try and see where he was going, and obviously the car in front clears water off the track for you. But because he came out of the spray, he wasn't directly behind the car, so there was a lot of water, so he aquaplaned and then into the barrier. He still had a big shock on the side. He didn't slow down much.
No.
He went into that barrier.
So, driver error then, isn't it, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, driver error. Again, on the
don't get me wrong. I mean, that spray must be just... when you see, and like I've said before, the halo does impair your vision as well. Not so much porpoising, although if it was porpoises, it'd be right at home, wouldn't they?
That'd be a bit better, yeah.
Hey. That's terrible. But go on.
But then, did you see what happened after that with Gasly? Obviously, what's his name? Sainz hits the barrier, and a bit of the advertising hoarding comes off onto the track. And
it's stuck in front of him.
On Gasly's nose, So he's got that right up, right over the nose, where the halo he can't see above it because of the halo. He's got that much to see. Then this much is being covered by the. For those listening on the radio,
Brendan is putting his hand, recreating it perfectly with his own hand. That's something genius.
His vision was impaired significantly by the advertising hoarding that was stuck on his front, which must have been terrifying. I mean, there's not a lot you can see to start with, and then half of it's getting covered up with a God knows what,
There must be a point. Right, okay, here's my contention about this. Right, okay. It looks terrible, like the camera-wise. You're watching it, you think, I can't see a thing, okay? Here we go. Here's my theory, right? Purely based on nothing, having never driven a Formula 1 car, okay?
Like most of the comments.
Here is my comparison, right? Hold tight. I once had a Fiat Punto, okay? This is going to go well, right? Fiat Punto is notorious.
Firstly, can I just say, can I just applaud your bravery for admitting to owning that car? But let's carry on.
Okay. So the Fiat Punto is notorious for the poor design of their windscreen wipers. Now, if someone from Fiat wants
just the windscreen wipers,
and the exhaust and all the other things that fell off the bloody thing, right? Okay, so one day I'm driving down the M25. It's peeing down my rain. Windscreen wipers stop, right? They stop completely. Can't see a thing, right? And I'm like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. This is it now. I'm saying goodbye to all my family in my head. I'm really, really building this story up on it. But then I worked out, right? If you're going a certain speed, if you're going below 60, the water just stays on the windscreen. Just stays.
Yeah.
You can't see a thing. You can't see a thing. You go over this speed, a certain speed, the water starts streaming off and you can see, right? But then if you go too fast, the water just started making like this kind of weird. So I had to maintain a certain speed to be able to see. Now, my contention is there must be a speed that they can go to where the water streams off, and that's all I've got. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes, I get your point, and there is that effect on it. And there's also products like Rain-X that make the water shed at a lower speed and makes it come off quicker, right? So you don't need windscreen wipers, right? But the issue that they have isn't the windscreen wipers. It's
maybe
have you ever driven past? Do you know when you drive past a truck?
Oh yeah, terrifying.
Right, and all the spray comes off that. That's
you've driven past a truck with aquaplaning, and yeah, terrifying.
That's what they're looking at. It's the spray in front of them. They can't see in front. It's not on the surface.
Yeah,
surface. The things is that that's the thing. But there we go.
I do contest that it can't be as bad as what it looks. It looks worse on the telly. That I think I don't know. There's something
from the helmet cam pictures.
How could they possibly drive in it?
Because they're professionals. They've got balls of steel.
They have got balls of steel, big balls.
Yeah. It's insane the things that they do.
Yeah, it is. And yeah. So
if I show a picture or a still, a freeze frame of a YouTube video, we get copyright strike for that?
No, not if it's a freeze frame.
Right, okay. I'm gonna
we're not making any money off these videos anyway. So come on, let's be honest. It's taking nothing from nothing. Something from nothing. Who's going to claim? All they do is claim the revenue from the video that you would have earned if you did earn it.
All right.
If by tomorrow we all of a sudden get 1 million views on it, then they'll just earn the money on it.
Right.
The likelihood of that, let's be honest, with the quality that we produce, it's just considerable. So what are you showing me?
Trying to those extended highlights.
I should have watched those. I watched the highlights earlier, but I just couldn't concentrate on it. I don't know why.
It was quite jumpy.
It was, and so when we're coming into this good race, bad race, it's been so long. I can't remember where anything or anybody finished. A bit disappointed for Albon not finishing. He got whacked, within the first.
Yeah, he got whacked. Yeah. There's a couple of people who whacked. Vettel whacked Alonso, and then totally blamed Alonso for it.
Did he?
Yeah.
That's a shame. He loved that track. He loves that track, doesn't he? That's one of his favourites, old Vettel.
Yeah. Right.
He's going to be missed. That boy's going to be missed. Come on, what? We're waiting here.
Do you know what? I'm not going to sit. Right, hang on. Where is it?
That's a lovely one. But past first class.
How do I share my screen with you?
Oh, I've got to give you permission now, haven't I? All these permissions.
I'm on share screen. Yeah, okay.
Share screen, multiple. Go on, there you go. To all podcast listeners, we're just sharing the screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing screen, right? Okay.
What they can't see, and they can't see anything. And here we go.
Right. So in that picture there, can you see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Right, you can't see anybody behind them, right? That's because you're looking through it, right? And that's the view that the drivers have, is they're looking through. So when you're...
Who come up with this? Someone grabbed on that inside bit was dry. Go back.
Oh, that was Lance Stroll there on the inside there.
On the inside bit underneath the pit wall was dry, and he just rocketed through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is Carlos Sainz on board.
Okay.
Right. There's no rain on the thing, but you can hardly see that they're going right past the front of his wheels.
Yeah.
And that's the issue with the view.
Yeah.
And then again with Seb Vettel, as it's going along, look how it's clean there before everybody starts.
Yeah.
And that's like 3 seconds later.
Yeah. 3 seconds.
And then he's off. Then he's off the track and it's back being clear again. So that's the issue. It's how far in front you can see, not the stuff on your face.
Yeah.
Right.
The issue with a Fiat Punto is just the Fiat Punto. There's a reason why it's called Fix It Again, Tony.
Right. So I think Vettel and Alonso had good races. Russell, I think, again, he didn't have a good race, and he wasn't happy with the strategy that Mercedes called with bringing him in for the double stack, I think.
Right.
Latifi played a blinder, I think, to get to 9th.
Yeah, considering his usual comfortable place is either going down the wrong. He managed to keep it down on the right road for the race.
Yeah, he kept on the track, which is better than practice session. So
yeah. And well done to him. He deserves that. 9th's got a point. Is that his first point ever?
He got 2 points actually.
That's what I meant to. That's another thing. That's another thing about the rules. Why did they change the point system? They changed there was silence. There was an audible silence because Brendan's not been watching it. They changed it in 2009, didn't they? Just to agree. They changed it in 2009. It used to be 10 points for the win. Again. Go on.
And then they revised it again after Spa last year. So they said you have to complete so many laps and you get a half point, or then you get half points, and then you do so many laps, you get quarter points. Okay. Right. So if you only do three
all
laps,
podcast listeners, I pulled this face. Go on. Yeah. What the? It used to be 9 points for the win, 6 points for second, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, that's what it used to be for years, decades. And then, like 2010, they went, "Oh, let's make it 25 points." Why? I can understand they want the top 10.
It wants to be closer.
I don't know. It's another one of those FIA. So then, when I picked up my book in the toilet, I've got a book in the toilet, right? It said someone.
You got lots of books in the toilet, mate. I've been there.
Yeah, I've got an original Wayne's World book, which I like. Anyway, the book in the toilet, and it's a 2019 Formula 1 season book, right? I've read it inside and out because I've been in that my toilet. Okay, I've read it inside and out. But it says at the back, it has the points tables, right, for forever, right? And I was looking at it today, and it says most championship points. And it's Lewis Hamilton's right up there, and you go back. Oh, Nicky Lauda got those many points, but no, hang on. How are they calculating that? Because it was 9 points for a win in 1974. It's like 25 points now, so it's skewing.
It's not comparable.
It's not comparable at all. Jackie Stewart or someone probably got more points than Jenson Button. Jenson Button was on the old system. So, anyway. What were we talking about? Formula 1?
We were talking about the points, but that was the confusion as to whether Max was champion or not, because everyone thought because it wasn't the full length race, it would only be 3/4 points or half points or whatever, which is true if it started behind a safety car, or if it was yellow flagged. Yeah. But because it was started after a red flag, it's a full race points. Yeah. So that's what wasn't clear in the FIA's regulations when they revised them after Spa last year.
Okay, but it got to the point where
clear as mud.
Got to the point where it's Johnny Herbert announcing who's the Formula 1 champion. And there was that lovely moment in the cool down room where Max Verstappen went and sat in this special Formula 1 champions room, and he sat there like this, and he was like, there's no one here. I'm lonely. And he had to walk back out again. And that cool-down room chat is one of the highlights of the race. It's just seeing them come out of the car and then watching highlights and then going, well, what happened there? And then all discussing, oh, turn 2 was this. Hey, did you do this in turn 4? I love that. And it annoys me when they try and beep out, oh, are they going to...
Somebody was saying that they should it should be Max Verstappen's podcast because he's in there every week with different guests.
Yeah. yeah. This week on Max Verstappen's podcast is is George Russell, but the way they
should release that. They should release that unedited.
Yeah.
And they should release that as
they're genuinely stood in front of a TV screen like we are. We've seen all of it. Yeah. They've not actually seen it, and they're watching it and they're going, oh wow, what happened to him?
Yeah, what happened to him? Yeah. Why we were red flag. Yeah. And it would be better. It would be much better if Crofty and those guys didn't talk over the top of it.
Don't talk over it. Just let them talk.
Just release that.
This is people we want to see. We want to hear their expressions. We want to hear them. Yeah. And every time they've just let it go, you just hear these lovely little chats between them. About racing, about the conditions, about the tyres, about when they discuss certain. Oh, my tires started going off then, and I just think that's one of the golden moments, after that dude gives him the watch. That same dude, he's been there for years. I'm telling you, one dude giving that watch out, we must have an interview with him. That can't be his job. You know the one I mean. You know the guy I mean, don't you? He's just stood there and he goes, here's your watches, chaps. Is this your job? Just giving me a watch at the end of the day.
Yeah, that'd be a good interview.
Can you imagine that as a job as you walk out of work? You finish your day's work in McDonald's and someone goes, okay, well done. Here's a towel. Here's your watch. You could just wear that just while you walk around here and then put that on your head. Unbelievable job.
Maybe he just turned up for a job interview one day and then, they were like, oh yeah, it's this is the job.
These are job requirements. You will give people watches.
And do you fancy doing a little bit of overtime on a Sunday?
Yeah.
What is it? Oh, just turn up next Sunday. Turn up next Sunday. See if you enjoy it. Then we'll talk about it after that.
What you're going to do is you're going to line up
25 years ago.
You're going to line up some. I mean, guy, you can't argue with the guy. He goes around the world. It's the same guy that does it around the world. What's your job? We're going to fly you around the world. What am I going to do? I'm going to line up. You're going to line up towels. You're going to give baseball hats out and watches. And you'll pay for international airfare. Yeah, all paid for you. Bingo. I quit my job tomorrow.
Quick one before Murray comes in.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about Mick Schumacher leading for about a quarter of a lap?
Yes, let's talk about that. But I think
Murray's there. Is that Murray?
We'll talk about that after.
Is that Murray?
That is Murray.
So easy to get it wrong.
Yay, that's lovely, Murray there. What do you think of it? So you were saying Schumacher?
Yeah, Mick Schumacher led the race. Schumacher P1 for about
20 seconds.
Half a lap.
He did it. Yeah, his dad would be proud. His dad would be proud. That's a beautiful thing. Yeah,
they got there. They were doing something right to get there.
I want to see Schumacher back next year. I do actually. Yeah. Whether his performance, I'm not even going to say whether his performance warrants it. No more than some other people that are still there. So I want, and I think there might be. I don't know. I'm looking forward to Drive to Survive next season. Actually, but to see, I want to see if there's a relationship between him and the team. I do. The boy not done good, but the boy's a trier, really. And you don't know, do you? You don't know. I hope he's back next year. You don't like to see people get kicked out of the sport for, I don't know. God loves a try. Do you know what I mean?
So,
with Ricardo, bless him. Oh, sorry, we're still.
Haas have just announced a new title sponsor, MoneyGram, right? So they've just had a massive influx of money.
Yeah.
And that's item 1. Item 2 was their complaint about Mick is that he costs them a lot of money. He's caused a lot of damage to the car, which is bitten into their budget. Maybe not for this year, but for next year, it will be, there's money they can't spend. I suppose it will be this year, won't it? Because they've had to use parts and whatnot, and so he's cost him a lot of money. And again, this week after free practice, he was driving back to the pits on a cool down lap after the session had finished, and he spun it into the wall and mashed up the front end of it. There's some things that are, yes, he's a nice guy, yes, he's a Schumacher, yes, he might be a decent driver, but he's costing them money, and that's one thing that Haas doesn't have a lot of.
Yeah, but
I can't argue with the Benjamins.
Can't argue with the numbers. Like I'm so done with the Ricciardo thing now. I'm so done with it.
He's not on the grid next year. That's not a story anymore now. It will be a story in the run-up to the start of the 24 season.
No, it won't be. I don't think we'll see him again.
No.
I don't think he's good. It's not. He doesn't command.
Who was it that retired? Who was it that went on a sabbatical and never came back? Was it Montoya or somebody like that? It was one of the commentators.
Probably Montoya.
Yeah.
Montoya. Yeah. He hasn't got the talent. I don't know. He's not up there with your Alonsos who can take a year out, or even your Vettel. Vettel could take a year out, and I reckon he can walk back in.
You
what?
Ocon took a year out. Albon took a year out.
Oh no, I don't know. Stop giving me counter arguments. I don't want to hear that. It's my opinion. Okay, it's my opinion, and that's it. Lauda took a couple of years out. Come back, won the championship. Bingo.
Yeah,
that's
just on your fire, though. So we're fed up with the Ricciardo chat, right? So, should we go on to?
Well, we've got to go pit talk. Let's go pit talk. Hey, everybody, pit talk.
Pit talk. A couple of things to talk about. Firstly,
Nick de Vries.
Earlier. What?
Nick de Vries is in. Hey, that's it. We didn't have that last time. It's been 2 weeks. Nick de Vries is definitely in now.
Yes.
Well done him.
AlphaTauri.
Has he Googled it quickly?
No, I didn't.
It's been the weirdest couple of weeks. I've forgotten everything about Formula One. But yeah. Nick de Vries is in, and I'm very happy for that. I am happy for that. The guy, and to all intents and purposes, he's an old schooler, isn't he? He's an old man, considering he's like
27.
27. Who starts Formula One at 27? I mean, like me starting tennis.
Most interesting fact about AlphaTauri next season is that they'll have the shortest ever driver pairing in Formula One.
AlphaTauri? What, one season?
The shortest driver pairing. Basically, Nick isn't very tall and Yuki Tsunoda isn't very tall.
Oh, wow.
As opposed to, it's going to be funny seeing Yuki and Nick de Vries there, and then Pierre Gasly way up here, or Ocon and Russell are way up here.
That must give you an advantage in weight.
Yeah, weight, yeah. It's a good couple of pounds.
That big bouncy head getting in the way of the air.
There's a lot.
It's like to all people listening on the podcast. I'm putting my hand on my nose, just like Nick de Vries. He's earned that. That boy has earned that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, he's done his time. Yeah,
done his time, and that performance at Monza, you can't argue with it.
And he's a
basically. He might as well have walked into the pit and kicked Nicholas Latifi in the nuts. He might as well have done that.
If he does well, right? If he does well, then is he going to be setting himself up for Hamilton's seat when he retires?
This whole Hamilton seat thing. Mercedes had it. There's whispers. You must have heard it down there in the pits. Whispers about next year's car not being very good either from Mercedes.
Wow. That's something we need to look into.
He says as he randomly Googles quickly.
No. We need to.
First of all,
I need to.
First of all, let's get something out of the way. What do you think about there's a car on the circuit and it's dangerous.
Of the tractor issue, I was going to mention the safety issue. Firstly, I think the advertising hoarding shouldn't have come off.
Shouldn't have,
right?
but did. But yeah.
Did,
should have.
It
Isn't all two different things, or as we know, if you read
it should be. It should be sprayed on, or it should be vinyl, very thin vinyl that tears quicker than that and doesn't come off and fly off. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's ways to do it where it doesn't separate, right? That was issue number one.
Right.
And then issue number two is a tractor on the track. That in this day and age, there is no need. The communications are good enough. The things are in place. The safety measures are in place that they shouldn't have to have that tractor on the. Do
you think? Do you think
the track?
What compounded it because of the weather? Like that wouldn't have been a big issue if it was a dry race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if it hadn't been at the same track where Jules Bianchi had died.
Yeah. That's a.
I mean,
has anybody seen clips of that? Unfortunately,
I didn't know what they were talking about. I heard that he died, but I didn't know why.
Have you seen?
I was like, oh, that's horrific. Absolutely horrific.
Absolutely, that's an awful scene, and I think on that race, I think Adrian Sutil aquaplaned off near there, and he was stood behind the tractor, and Adrian Sutil saw the whole effing thing. He was just stood there after getting off, and then in comes poor old Jules aquaplaning off the circuit. It's a horrific. Guys, don't YouTube it. It will disturb you. There's a few accidents that
Don't start listening.
Don't stop listening, but don't.
No, don't start listing them.
Don't. I'm not. But I'm just. I wasn't going to list them. I'm going to list them. But there was some.
Yeah.
There's some tragedies in our time, and in a modern day racing, that should not happen.
Yeah. No, it shouldn't. You like I said,
even down to the height of the wheels, it was just that, and so that's what. But
that was one of my topics. I think the safety record. I think that may be something that we can discuss with Ernie if we ever get him back.
God, I want to get him. I'm going to email him again, guys. I want to get him back on about safety. He'll know. He'll probably have some horror stories for us. That would be way worse than getting punched in the face by James Hunt. The legend.
So the other thing,
absolute legend.
The other thing I want to talk about was the fact that the super wets they lasted 8 laps and then they were useless. You know, Max Verstappen he volunteered his time to help Pirelli develop a useful wet tyre, a wet weather tyre, because the ones they have now are agreed across the paddock that they are absolutely
not fit for purpose.
Yeah,
not fit for purpose. 8 laps. You're gonna pit every 8 laps. How ridiculous!
There's no, obviously they've got to take into account every tyre choice. There's a balance between safety and advantage, speed advantage, right?
Yeah.
So, and race teams will always go for speed. So you've got to engineer as close to being as safe as possible at that speed. And 8 laps, you're not going to do that. You're not going to put them on. So that's going to force them to use the intermediates, which aren't shedding enough water for those conditions. So I think that's something.
Safety with these tyres. I mean, that's an ongoing issue. If you've seen the, I think it's the 2000 and I don't know what one it was, the Indianapolis one. Schumacher was racing in Ferrari, and it ended up the race start. I told you about it before.
There was only 4 people. Finished or something.
Yeah. Latifi still finished last. No, I'm joking. But I felt for the fans on that day. But it was the safety issue about the tyres, and these people are paid a lot of money. Jesus, you can't make a tyre that can shed the water? Ridiculous.
There's a good balance of both. It's not a very good advert for Pirelli.
No, it's not. And to all podcast listeners, he said Pirelli there.
You've just gone quiet.
Have I? Hear me now?
You're back now.
Yeah. There was a little duck in the old sound, and you said Pirelli like that. You said Pirelli.
Yeah. It's not a very good advert for Pirelli.
No, it's not. There you go. We've said that. Okay, so Pit Talk, tell me about this points. Tell me about. He says as he's trying to hold in a burp. Oh dear.
Classy.
Classy podcast, people. Classy podcast. That's what you pay for. Or that's what you don't pay for. No one has ever bought us a coffee. I'm telling you that. It's disgraceful. Tell me about this points issue or this cost cap issue. What's going to happen? I'm bored. No one cares. No one cares. Last year is last year. It's done. Okay.
Yes.
And a McLaren boss. There you go. That's the topic of conversation. Done. Closed by Brendan. Yes. But the McLaren boss said, well, that's effectively cheating. But is it intentional? It's about intent, isn't it? You've got to prove intent. And I don't want things like this. This is another FIA kind of.
Right, so there's two ways to look at it, right? There's two things in play, right? As a neutral observer looking outside into the budget cap, Red Bull have gone over the budget, right?
Right.
They've only gone over, but it's a minor breach, as defined by the FIA. And as far as we know, from what memes we've seen, because I've not read it, you've not read it, we've not seen the report. It's not been publicized in any great depth. But
it's the FIA. It's going to be 700 pages.
Didn't know there was something about the catering, right? There's something about catering. They're all saying about it was they were putting on they put on wings. It was, and Helmut Marko said, I thought wings were allowed under the budget cap, and they said, yeah, it's chicken wings, not front wings, right? And there's all these kind of memes going around.
Wait a minute. Slow down a bit. Sorry, mate. I'm catching up with you. So you're saying they overspent on catering?
They didn't realise that one of the aspects of catering was included within the budget cap. There's some stuff that is included in the budget cap and some stuff that isn't included in the budget cap. So
wow, that's meme-tastic, that is.
Esteban Ocon, for example, launched an Alpine sports car. Right? And they threw out this massive party, and all of that was outside. It was thrown by the Alpine team, but it was outside the F1 cost cap budget.
Right.
But it was all part of their F1 experience in Japan. They launched this car, they did all the thing, there was all the schmooze and all that kind of stuff. But that was an entirely separate budget, right? Entirely separate cost area.
Okay.
Now, if, for example, I don't know the details, like I said, but if it was corporate hospitality for Red Bull, right, was included in the budget cap, they thought it wasn't. And that's what it comes down to. There's some form of catering, allegedly, or something that they thought wasn't included in the cost cap that turned out it was included. So they, in all genuine, with all genuine intent, submitted what they thought was included, and then the FIA were like, no, hang on, this is included as well. That should be included. So give us those numbers.
So then they put that on, and then they pushed them over.
That's what took them over, right? Now, that's aspect one of it. Aspect two is the split shit. The shit slinging around the paddock.
The shit slinging, the Jeremy Hunts.
Yeah, they're all playing mind games with each other. Of course, they're going to say that they're cheating and they're calling them dirty liar cheats and all this kind of stuff. One, it's good PR. Two, it gets them wound up. Christian Horner
manufactured
Christian
outrage.
Almost apoplectic when he was defending it, right? The same way that he was, that Toto Wolff was apoplectic about something else a couple of weeks ago. They're just winding each other up.
So it's all just you know,
Ramalama.
A shitstorm. It's
No, Mike, that was so not right. No.
So it's all just a shitstorm, basically, in a teacup.
I reckon, yeah.
Well, yeah, and it's got to stop. It's like playground stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is playground stuff. But that's the format.
Nothing
of it.
changes.
No,
the older I've
format.
got,
They bring the right. Okay, so the other, you either have but after sports nowadays, the way that the sports are covered, they get the athletes still sweaty, straight out the car, straight off the pitch, straight, before they go in the changing room, they're right there. Yeah. They've got a microphone in front of them. They have to do a soundbite, and the team principals are included in that, right? So they're going to say stuff. They're going to play the game. They're going to, wind people up and say this and that. And of course they are, But the alternative is you just get the standard sound bites. You get the robots like Hamilton was last year, just churning out the same stuff all the time. Or you actually get what you let them have a bit of free reign and they start messing with their opponents and taking the game.
I'd mess with my own team. I've said this to you before. I'd get off if I won a race, I'd just like to say I did this with no help from the people back at the garage. Fuck them. I did it. Me. No one else.
That is why he wins. Not in a racing team.
Well, just for something fresh, just to do it. I tell the people at the garage I'm going to do this at the end of the race, just to mess with their heads. I'm going to tell everybody that no, it's not about the car. It's about me. It's about me. Yeah. So you think it's a news generating thing? It's absolute fake outrage, and it's almost like we have this in the media at the moment. I'm not going into politics as such. There's a thing in the entertainment media at the moment where I'm gonna say right. There's like the woke politics bullshit, right? And now it seems like some of these movies that come out are purposely doing it not because they think it's going to make them money or to generate a buzz around their film. If we do this and we say this on the media, people will just click on it.
Crap movie, and people are going to go and watch it and to go and see the bit.
But part of it is we won't make a good movie. We'll make a movie that's woke. And then we'll go on the media and we'll go on the social media and the twattosphere or whatever it's called and say, well, we're woke or whatever. And they know that actually it's just creating a storm for the film rather than them making a good film. Do you know what I mean? Just make a good film. No. Anyway, it's almost the media storm.
The best way to get your song to number one is to get it banned.
Yeah. Or the medium is the message, or the message is the medium. I don't know. I've read that book years ago. But it's almost like that's the thing, not the actual film. Not the actual racing, not the actual cars, but the twattosphere. I
mean, I'm not saying in case Christian is listening, I'm not saying that his outrage was.
Oh, he's listening. I'm
saying that it's probably a little bit souped up. There's a little bit of salt on it. There's a little bit more exaggeration on it. It's like WWE, right? They're actually
they go in front of the camera going, I'm going to orphan your children. I'm going to and in the back room they're just like, oh, that was great performance.
There's the way to smack somebody with a chair and they're going to go down no matter what, but they're going to go down in a dramatic
way. Look, he's hitting with a chair. That's not in the rule book. Really? He didn't know that was coming.
Well, hang on. They often stop a WWE fight and say, "Oh, hang on, that's not in the rules."
You'd be like, "Dude, it was in rehearsal."
No.
It's all. I think it's a game that's up on every level. I think people can smell it. People can see. Come on, we all know it's a clickbait. They're being their own clickbait, aren't they?
Yeah.
So
Any
other pit talk?
There's been some changes to rules in the run up to Austin.
Okay, let's hear it.
This is another non-clear clarification of a rule.
Wow. So you're struggling with those words there.
Yeah,
it's unprecedented.
It's never been done before. The new rule is in regard to George Russell getting out of his car at Silverstone.
Okay.
Basically, any driver who abandons his vehicle, his car, during a race or a practice session. So if they get out of the car then that's them deemed to be abandoning the session. They can't get back in it after that. Starting and stopping the car, you can do that if you're on track. If you can get back on the track, as long as you don't get marshal's assistance. But if you get out of the car, that's your session finished. Now, I don't know when they define you're out of the car, because, for example, Yuki Tsunoda undid his belts. Is that when you're out of the car? Because then if you drive around, you get penalised for driving without your seatbelts on.
Yeah, there's a lot of that as well, isn't it? It's like I loosen my seatbelt so I can reach something. Yeah, and
but how?
This is a pointless rule again. This is another pointless rule
in the 5-point harness.
So Russell would I can imagine would answer to this and say, "You're penalising me for being concerned about the safety of another driver."
That's not his job. That's not why he's there. He's putting himself at risk by getting out of his car. Right? That car is inherently, I'm playing devil's advocate, the car is inherently designed to protect him, right? He's getting out of the car. There's other cars on track. There is a possibility that he could get hit by another car, right? The marshals, it's their job to go out and manage that, and they'll go out at a time and a place where it's safe to do so, right? They've got the comms that are telling them that. George Russell doesn't. So he's getting, it's like the guy running across the track to get the fire extinguisher. He didn't have all the information. He shouldn't have ran across the track.
That was 1979, though.
Yeah, doesn't matter. It's still, the guy in Bahrain did it as well. There was a guy in Bahrain.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at a lot of crashes online like I do, because I'm sad and I fall down YouTube wormholes, you look at a lot of crashes where you see two cars collide and one's upside down and another car's there. And if it's a matter of life and death, I'm getting out of the fucking car. I'm going to get out and save. And to penalise drivers for that.
Yeah, but okay, hang on. If the crash is that bad and you get out of the car, then you take you've abandoned the race, the session.
I think this is a pointless rule.
Of course you do.
Of course you do. Because I'm going to open it. How many pages is it? Formula One scoring. I don't know why you even bothered going down that road. Of course I'm going to. Let's see how many pages there are in the 22 Formula One regulation rules. Okay, let me just see how many pages there are. With all the crossings out. Really? Is
that the rules or the regulations or both? Or the sporting code?
Oh, is there another book? Is there another book, really? Page 111. Appendix, approved changes from subsequent years. Oh, my God. I mean, who said... Someone must have to go for it driving. Rule 40. I mean, really? You don't get this on other podcasts. Other podcasts don't go through the rules like we do. Taking into consideration the results from both cars obtained during the events, which have actually, I don't even know what I'm reading. The Formula One World Championship driver's title will be awarded to the driver who scored the highest number of points. There you go. That's all you need to do. That's the only rule you need. That's it. Let me see this. Let me see if there's in the sporting code, general World Championship refueling, practice sessions, qualifying. Let's see. Pre-sprint. Virtual safety car, suspended sprint, resuming. This is page 66. Resuming a sprint, finish. Post-sprint and post-race thermae. Where's there's not even paragraphs about dead heat, competitors' application, power covering. I'm looking for weighing, refueling, practice sessions, qualifying, practice accidents. There's not a page on accidents. What the regulations, classification, sprint. I'm reading this now, people, live. FIA stuff. Brendan's gone to sleep because he doesn't care. Are you trying to?
I'm prepping for the next section.
Oh, well, we've got to count the points. You're in the lead, first time.
Yeah, I am, but a whole point.
Whole point. We might have to write our own regulations book. Not scheduled, session not scheduled, grid, car livery. Fuck, they got rules. Oh, you're making me swear on this. Competitors have dead heat, world champ, organisation, car livery. Livery.
Oh, something I didn't mention in pit talk. This weekend,
We're still in pit talk. Go on.
Mr. McLaren F1 team will be using real-time. Well, I don't even know how you describe it in fancy words. Basically, their sponsorship logos are going to be changing in real time during the race.
On the car?
Yes, on the car.
Wowzers. That is awesome. Can there'll be a regulation about this. Wait a minute. Track running.
Of the same company, they're not changing the logo, or they're not changing the brand. They're just changing the brand.
Wait a minute. Page 7. Let's go to page 7 on car livery.
What? Are they up to date on the amendments?
Next year, is it? They're going to change?
No, this weekend.
This weekend? Oh, well, they might be in contravening of... This is page 8. Hold up. Let's go. Mr. Maths here. Let's go page 7. Application should confirm that the applicant has read answered the regulations agreed above the team, the name of the team, which must include the name of the
Dynamic sponsors logos. There you go.
The make of the engine, the names of the drivers. A driver may be nominated subsequently to the application upon. Okay, I'm reading a competitor may change the make of the engine at any time during the championship. All points, with the exception of those whose cars have scored points in the championship of the previous year. Applicants must supply information about the size of their company. Is that livery? I don't even understand the car livery. Right. The provisions, car livery and competition numbers, car livery. The provisions of the code relating to the national colours shall not apply to the championship. Don't even understand that statement. Both cars entered by the competitor must be presented in substantially the same livery at every event.
Substantially is a key word, right? So what they're doing...
Here we go, lawyers are going to be...
They're putting a digital panel on the car.
Here we go. We're on it. Look at us. Any significant change
on the onboard cameras? It's not a significant change.
I'm reading the FIA, the Holy Bible. FIA. God, I look red in this one.
It's about the size of a phone.
What's the point if no one can see it? Any significant
cameras?
Wait a minute. Any significant change to this livery during a championship, let's just scroll down, may only be made with the agreement of the FIA and the commercial rights holders. So you can just change it. In order that the cars of each competitor may be easily distinguished from one another whilst they are on track, the onboard camera is located above the principal roll structure. The first car must remain as it is supplied to the competitor, and the second car must be predominantly fluorescent yellow. Okay. The name embedded in the make of the car must appear on the front of the nose of the car. The name of the driver must appear on the extended bodywork of the car and be clearly legible. Each car will carry the race. There's not a lot of regulations going on livery here. Each car will carry the competition number, not the race competition number. They've crossed the word race out. I should be sharing the screen with this really. Of the driver as published by the FIA. Championship career, the number has been allocated to replace. You know, who sits and reads this?
You're boring everyone here.
I'm boring myself.
We can tell by your. Let me share the screen and I'll show you. In fact, hang on. Is it going to? No.
Yeah. Go on, share. I know because I'm just going to push button now. Go on. There you go. Share the screen. Make my editing more difficult. Do it. Podcast listeners, we're just sharing the screen with each other. You can't see this. Here we go. Brendan Joyce has started to share.
Where it says Android.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's the digital panel. Obviously, you can see that from the camera at the top of the halo, right? Yeah. So that'll look down, and that will change throughout the race. They can put.
Well, what's it going to change to? Like Just Eat or something?
Not through the race.
Are you feeling hungry?
Are
you feeling hungry?
Put anything on there. You know the boarding. God. You know the boardings around a football field.
Yeah. I watched the last England match with the ladies' last England match. Yeah, there was much discussion about that with our friends about the boarding constantly changing.
Yeah, so that's what's going to happen there.
So potentially it could be advertising, like if it's in Japan in the morning, like Cocoa Pops.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Being able to change branding in real time on a Formula One car will give greater flexibility and value to teams and partners.
More money, basically more money. Greater flexibility and value to partners means more cash, more big fat cash.
All about the Benjamins.
I miss those 70s ones. I miss the cigarette branding. I don't care what people say. They were just more inventive. And I miss the 70s ones with Durex and things like that. Just brilliant.
Right, are we going to go on to predictions?
We certainly are, because I think, I don't know, I've not even looked at them, but I'm going to take the lead.
I'm ready to riot it. Riot it.
Hey, if you're not going to go back and rewatch, the podcast, you'll never know.
I listened to a couple.
You got to rewatch them. Hold on.
Why don't you watch them?
Why do I have to rewatch them?
Not that much fun the first time round. Yay!
Exactly, people. Don't bother rewatching.
If you're still listening, let us know.
If you're still listening live, people, we don't even watch it. We don't even watch it. I do watch it. I do. You know why I rewatch it? Because I'm the one that has to edit it every week. Okay, so let's share screen. Here we go. Okay, share. Here we go.
Right, while you're getting them up, we will. Oh no, it's too early for. Oh no, we can do this. So this weekend's race is at the Circuit of Americas. It will start on Sunday morning or Sunday evening, isn't it? It's an 8 o'clock start because it's they're west of us.
Yeah.
An 8 o'clock start. Qualifying will be at 11 o'clock on Saturday night. Wow, that's a late one.
That is a late one. Saturday night. This weekend. Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Let's do this. Come on. Here we go.
Hang on. We got to do the stats first.
Who's fastest lap? Nicholas Latifi?
No,
I'm a nasty man.
Circuit of the Americas has a total of 20 corners, 2 DRS zones. It was first Grand Prix was in 2012, 56 laps this weekend, a circuit length of 5.513 kilometers, total race distance of 308.405 kilometers. That's quite a long lap length, 5.5 kilometers. And the lap record is 1 minute 36.169 by Charles Leclerc in 2019.
2019, so we haven't been there since COVID. Okay, so let's do the points. Here we go. Who won it? You got 2 points for this one. Who got pole?
Hang on, because I can't.
Come on.
Because you've started sharing the screen, I can't. There we go. There we go. Right. Okay.
5 minutes. We've got to do this. 5 minutes.
Pit stop. Starting grid was Verstappen on pole.
Okay, nothing for us. 2 points for the win. Verstappen. Science, nothing. Perez, where'd he come?
Second.
So you got third. Leclerc, where'd he come? Fourth? Third. Per point. Hamilton?
Fifth.
Alonso?
7th.
Point there. Russell?
8th.
Point there. Gasly?
Oh, he's way down. 18th.
Nothing for him. Norris, you got a point, yeah? Where did he come?
Norris was 10th.
And Ricardo, nothing, right?
11th,
so you got, and who got fastest lap?
Guan Yu Zhou.
Quick, we got Guan Yu
Zhou got fastest lap.
Yeah.
On 1 minute 44.411.
1, 4, 4. 0.1, yeah? Okay, so you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You've got 9, right? Here we go. Leclerc, I get a point for. Verstappen, I get a point for.
Fastest lap as well. Hang on, you get a point for fastest lap.
I knew my tactic was good. Russell, where did he come?
Russell was. Hang on, where did he go? Oh, that's fastest lap, that one. Russell was 8th.
Okay, I get a point for him. The GOAT, I get 2 points. I got the same place.
Hamilton was 5th.
Yeah, okay. Alonso
was 7th.
Norris, I get a point. Ocon
was 4th.
Stroll
12th.
Okay, so you got 9. I got 1, and a point for that fastest lap. Pole. No one got pole today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a dead heat. It's 9 points each for that. I'm right there. 9 points each. Okay. So it's a dead heat.
Okay.
So we're on
point ahead.
1, 6, 6, and you're let's cross that out. And then I'm on 165. 1, 6, 5. We've got 2 minutes 40. Go for it. Come on. We can do this. Come on. We can do this.
I reckon Leclerc on pole. We'll keep that.
Yeah.
I reckon fastest lap will be Perez. We're going to keep that because they're going for second place.
Hold up. You're going fast. You're going fastest lap, Perez, yeah?
Yep.
Just get the top 10 quick. I'm going to do this quick as well. We've got it, mate.
Verstappen's going to win.
Verstappen's going to
Perez, I think. Yep. Then Perez.
Yeah.
Then Leclerc.
Yeah.
Then Hamilton, Sainz.
Hamilton and Sainz.
Yeah. Then Russell.
Yeah. We're doing that again.
Alonso and Norris. So yeah, put Alonso in, switch Alonso and Gasly around.
You want Alonso and Gasly?
Leave Alonso there.
And you want Norris, don't you? You said Norris. Yeah. And you want Gasly? No.
No, leave Gasly out. They're doing crap. Let's put Bottas. Put Bottas in there just for shit giggles.
And
leave Danny Rick there.
Fuck it. Right, okay. Here we go for me. Right, I'm gonna go Verstappen. I'm gonna go Sainz second. I'm gonna go Russell third. I'm gonna go the GOAT fourth. Literally. I'm gonna go to Norris fifth. Alonso sixth. Where's Vettel? I feel like I should give Vettel seventh. He's done all right. And I'm gonna put Ocon eighth. I'm gonna move Danny Rick. I'm gonna put Bottas ninth. And I haven't even put Perez now. I put Perez 10th. He's going to have something. Okay. We've got less than a minute. Fastest lap. Quick.
1. Oh, hang on.
Quick.
1:38.354.
0.354. I'm going to go 1.
You're going to do the same.
38.355. I'm going to keep Verstappen there and then go for a look at the poll. Guys, this has been the F1 Show podcast. Let's stop sharing screen. Stop sharing screen. We're going to wave now. Thank you so much. We've got our predictions in. Finally, I'm going to take the lead for this one.
No, you're not. Leave some comments.
Leave some comments. Subscribe. We've already did it.